Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily FX market review for the trading day ending Tuesday, August 4th. Firstly to the Euro US dollar today, and here we see a change of trend to the downside. The previous day's trading formed an indecisive candle that had a very small black body, a very small range for the trading day, finding resistance at the Tenkan indicator, selling off from there. The range indicated a lot of indecision in the market, and compared to the very large range in the previous uptrend, it suggested that the buyers weren't strong enough to test up anywhere near the highs of that trading, nor were the sellers strong enough to test down near the lows. Today we've seen the sellers take strong control of the market, trading in a very solid bearish manner down through the low of that candle and through the low of the two previous candles to that, and closing in a bearish manner down below the important 109.02 level of previous strong support. The sellers have shown that they've taken control of the market by closing down at the low, and if we look at the this candle, we've seen the market testing very close to the Tenkan once again, which trades at 110.02, and we see the formation of the shadow on the top of this candle, highlighting that the buyers have lost commitment up around that area, and the sellers have shown strong commitment, as I've mentioned, to breach that important support area. What we'd like to see for the next day is some strong follow through. If we look at some of these candles here, especially this one, we saw formation of a white body after the breakout below the 109.02 level, and then some strong buying coming in. We don't want to see that type of candle form. It could lead to another rally, but a very strong bearish candle and possibly a strong test down to the low here, the swing low around 108.08, could then see the market testing down close to the 107.60 level of previous support. Moving to the hourly charts with the Euro US dollar, and here at the start of this trading session for today, we saw the market open below each of the Ichimoku indicators in a fairly indecisive manner. Sellers coming into the market whilst holding the Tenkan, the green line here, as resistance, but finding support just at the first pivot point support level. Rallying off there to initially find resistance at the Tenkan, breaching through the middle pivot point level and trading to the first pivot point resistance level, and then selling off down through there to close the day down at the third pivot point support level. Very strong selling in the last few hours of trading, and the strong rejection was from the middle pivot point level. This has been something of an extreme day. Very often when markets trade down to those third pivot point support or resistance levels, it tends to be an extreme day, and we don't tend to see strong follow through the next day. So not expecting the market trade down through to at least probably the second pivot point support level, 108.03. We could trade to 108.41, the first level, but at the moment we are seeing some buying coming into the market, and a good chance that we may see the market test to the 109.15 middle pivot point level. Above there we have the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan trading at 109.28 and 109.32, and up through there the first pivot point resistance level 109.53. Unlikely that the market will be able to trade through the Ichimoku cloud. As I've said, it tends to be a day that's not quite as dynamic as that previous extreme day, as we've seen today, testing down to that third pivot point support level. Just looking at our bands here with the Euro US dollar, and here we see the market testing just slightly outside of the lower band, and suggesting that if we see some strong follow through down outside of the lower band, and that means a candle with a very bearish bias to it, then we're likely to see further development of the market to the downside. It suggests that we have a very strong downtrend in that medium term time frame. The market would need to breach down through the swing lows here for confirmation of that strong downtrend, but a breach down through that area could see the Euro US dollar trading significantly lower. Next to the US dollar, Japanese yen, and here we've seen some buying coming into this market today, bouncing off the Tenkan support. The Tenkan at 123.78 has held as strong support for the last 4 consecutive trading days, and suggests that as we're seeing some momentum being built, some solid net momentum in terms of the size of the white body between the open and the close, it suggests that the market is building for an assault on this resistance at the top of this zone at 124.70. If that area is breached continuation in a strong bullish manner, and with some strong follow through, we could easily see US dollar Japanese yen testing up to this major high in the recent past at 125.85. Very solid support down below where the market's trading at the moment, the Tenkan-sen, as I've mentioned, but also at the top of the Ichimoku cloud at 123.41, extending all the way down through to the bottom of it at 122.16. On the hourly charts here, not as dynamic a day as we saw with the Euro US dollar. Throughout the early part of the trading session and well into the trading day, we saw the market attempting to break out up above the Ichimoku cloud. A lack of follow through saw the run peter out, and then the sellers come into the market not in a strong manner, being a rather weak manner, but testing down below the Ichimoku cloud with one bearish candle, finding support at the first pivot point support level. The market then tested up to the top of the Ichimoku cloud on multiple occasions, and also to the middle pivot point level, unable to breach through there until late in the session with this very dynamic bullish activity up through there, strong follow through, but not quite even being able to test up to the second pivot point resistance level. This suggests that we haven't seen as dynamic a day as we did with the Euro US dollar, not an extreme day, and suggests that there is a possibility, if the buyers are strong enough, they could test up to the first pivot point resistance level, 124.60, possibly to the second at 124.81. Solid support down below where the market's opened at the middle pivot point level, 124.18, through to the Tenkan-sen, 124.13, the Kijun-sen, 124.09, and then we have the Ichimoku cloud between 123.99 and 123.84. Just looking at the bands here with the US dollar Japanese yen, and for the fourth consecutive trading day, we've seen the market test to or above the upper band and finding resistance there. Previously we saw some strong rejection from there. Today the market's closed just at that level, unable to breach there, so that area is still holding as strong resistance. At the moment the upper band trades at 124.37. We have opened around that area, and there's a possibility of the market trading through there. What we want to see is a bullish breakout and then some strong bullish follow through, and then we could see further development of this trend to the upside. It would mean that we have a very strong bullish bias in the market in that medium term time frame. We do need to clear these swing highs here around the 124.50 level. Moving to the British pound US dollar, and here we've seen some selling coming into the market today, not as strong as we've seen with other markets. This candle only just able to breach down through the low of the previous candle, but the important thing here is that the sellers have taken fairly strong control of the market by closing down at the low. Previous day's trading we saw a close fairly close to the midpoint level, suggesting that neither side had taken control. If anything, the sellers had taken weak control, and prior to that a series of very small bodied candles suggesting that there was a lot of indecision in the market. Today another small bodied candle, so in net terms the momentum is not as great as the previous day, but the important thing is the sellers taking control and the price action being rejected from the Tenkan-sen indicator, the green line here. Whereas it was previous support, it's now seen the market to be able to breach down through there in a bearish manner. The problem for the sellers is going to be the strong support continuing at the Kijun-sen indicator, the pink line, and that's been tested on the past 4 occasions, and the market's been able to breach through there. So the Kijun-sen trades at 155.30 at the moment, and if we do see this market attempt to rally today, then potential resistance at the Tenkan-sen indicator 155.77. In big picture terms, we now see this market trading within the Ichimoku cloud. We're seeing the top of the cloud holding as resistance. We have a neutral market in big picture terms, and a market that's hovering above and below the Tenkan-sen indicator, suggesting a lot of indecision in that short-term time frame. Next to the hourly charts, and here we've seen the market open down below each of the Ichimoku indicators, some solid downside momentum, attempting to sell off from the Tenkan-sen resistance, lack of follow through, the market rallying to find resistance at the middle pivot point level, rallying through the Kijun-sen indicator to find resistance at the top of the Ichimoku cloud. The market was then able to test up to the first pivot point resistance level on a couple of occasions, and then late in the trading session to sell off quite strongly through the cloud, giving us a bearish market once again in all three timeframes. So a bit of a mixed bag today here, where we saw the market moving from a very positive bullish stance in all three timeframes to a fairly bearish neutral bearish stance in all three timeframes. This denotes quite some indecision in the market, with the market testing to the first pivot point resistance level and then very close to the first pivot point support level. For the new session, we've seen the market open below each of the Ichimoku indicators, so that bearish market continues. A very real possibility of a test down to the first pivot point support level, 155.32. If that's breached, looking to 155.03 at the second level. Any rally may find some stronger resistance at the middle level at 155.82, then up to the Tenkan-sen, 155.93, and then at the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud at 156. To the bands with cable, and here we see a squeeze in the bands going on, and this is a perfect setup for trading. And what we look for is the squeeze. It means that there's little volatility in the market, and we know that volatility moves in a cyclical nature, and low volatility will then lead to high volatility, and the low volatility tends to manifest itself as congestion. High volatility tends to manifest itself as trending price action, so we'll be waiting for the breakout. Now what we've seen here is the market testing above the upper band and being rejected from there, and that's very common to see that. And what we saw today was a test exactly to the band and strong rejection, and the market finding support once again around the middle level. So a very, very neutral market, no clear indication of direction here in either time frame, and significantly in the medium term time frame with the bands here. What we'll be looking for is either a bullish breakout to the upside or a bearish breakout to the downside, and then strong follow through to confirm. At the moment we need to be patient, but we know that this low volatility situation will lead to a high volatility situation similar to what we saw here, despite the fake out that we saw here with the test down below and then the weak candle and the rally back up above and the strong development of the second time frame uptrend. Next to the Aussie dollar, US dollar, and some very solid buying coming into this market today, and that followed a series of fairly small body candles, quite a few indecisive spinning top type candles, the market finding resistance at the Tenkan-sen indicator, roughly about 73.30, and then support very close to previous support level at 72.16. The market congesting, no clear direction here, even though we're maintaining a bearish bias in the longer term and the medium term time frame by trending below each of those indicators, and that bearishness was supported by the Chica span being below the corresponding price action. What we've seen today is the market mean reverting back towards the Kijun-sen indicator. The Kijun-sen represents equilibrium in that medium term time frame, and when that turns flat, very often we see price action attracted back towards it, and that's what we've seen today. Importantly, for the first time in quite some time, we've seen the market be able to close above the Tenkan-sen indicator and close above there in a bullish manner. This suggests a very real possibility of the market retracing back towards the Kijun-sen, which trades at 74.85. The problem could be the 73.90 level of previous support and resistance, and we saw today the market testing through there but being rejected from there and unable to close above that level. If we see strong bullish activity early in this market breaching that area, we could easily see a test to the Kijun-sen, but I suggest that we're likely to find some very strong resistance around the Kijun-sen at 74.85. And to the hourly chart, and something of an extreme day here, very solid bullish trading activity that's breached up through the third pivot point resistance level. Now the levels weren't a long distance apart, but very often when we see these extreme type days, and that's in reference to some of the days previous, and if we look at these days here past the day prior to today, we see the market testing up through the Ichimoku cloud, through each of the Ichimoku indicators, and in a very bullish manner, and finding some resistance initially around that third pivot point resistance level and trading well through there. Very often, as I've mentioned, we don't see strong follow through. Watching the Tenkan-sen here, 73.99 very closely. The first pivot point resistance level is at 74.50. I doubt we're going to see this market test up to there. So a possibility that we might not see the follow through that we're looking for on those daily charts. If we do see the market come off, we're likely to find some very strong support at the middle pivot point level, 73.56, and then at the Kijun-sen at 73.45. Any solid bearish breach down through the Kijun-sen is likely to find very strong support at the top of the Ichimoku cloud at 72.98, and within the cloud we have the first pivot point support level, 72.83. Moving to the bands here with the Aussie dollar, US dollar, and here previously we saw the squeeze going on, the very strong bearish activity down below the lower band, highlighting the very strong negative bias in this market. The market finding resistance on multiple occasions within the bands, testing to there, and we see the shadows on the top of a lot of these candles, and the market continuing to trade outside of the bands. Today, this trading activity suggests that very strong negative bias that we had in this market is over, and we saw the market close back within the band, so that the strong bias has gone. We're seeing a shift back to the buyers away from the sellers here. It hasn't been confirmed yet. What we've seen is the market test to the top of the bands and be rejected from there. So if we are going to see a transition into a new uptrending phase, we have to see a bullish breakout up above the upper band, and then some strong bullish follow through. And that doesn't mean that we won't see the market once again testing down through the lower bands. What we have to do is watch that lower band at 73.04. It may hold as very strong support, but if we see a bearish breakout and then some continued bearish activity down below there, we could see further development of the trend to the downside. But we'd like to see the low here, 73.02, breached in a bearish manner to